Hmm. So Bay. 13 Artistry. Who else is getting on here? Playboy Jordan. Hey, that's who's gonna call me back, girl. Peace, peace. I know I've never did a live on my Ajanike page, but I wanted to get on here and do something. This is just I'm just having some fun. How y'all doing? Hi, so clever. Good day. Good day. I'm just waiting to see how many people actually gonna get on this live. I'm sneaking on here. Y'all like these little rainbow colors? I love it. So I actually came on here to do some light language on y'all real quick. I'm doing well, Sobe. I'm doing well. I came on here to give you guys some light language real fast. Tyler Magruder's in the building. What's going on, family? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. So Didim said, yay, Neo Cosmos. Hey, fam, I'm going to call you today. Neo Cosmos, I'm going to hit you today. Glad to see you here. Kia chichicha mokutu didigatanaki chichitina makotutu kuno kaya chikinina pokutu koko aya naka chichichakata naka tutuko maka chinra kotu riekatana kapokutu ni akashira ki arianaka tana rekate yakaro kuno kamaka tekashika raka nara kotuku reyena nakamoni nake chishiro komoko nana shiraka no komaka ni nara kotoko Aranako shina makatiria katoro maranaka toko ne amakashiroko anika no koshina marakatoko nima naraka kashoko no koniamokoto ayamakata kashikyata toko toko nina marokoko nakashina nabokotoko Urake yaka chikete na bokoto. Amamaka tike choka na makata kite tok. Makoko kana kakata. Turoka mamakata kete shike na bokoto kuku. Ringa ka mamaka teka chasho turuko puku na kia chichiki kanata buroko tono koko. I hope you guys are enjoying this activation. Y'all doing good? Y'all getting some activations. Yeah, I'm going to start doing my lives over here too. So I got to let everybody know, start coming over here on this side. Y'all guys keep, now I know that I'm active on here every once in a blue moon, but I need you guys to keep up with me. Aphrodite's over there getting her dance on. Are you rapping light language? Yes. Yes, I was rapping light language. She's like, what the hell? So, hey. Hey, guys, listen. So, I want to have a conversation with you guys. We're going to talk about the 7 levels of consciousness today. The 7 levels of consciousness. And I'm actually glad to be doing it on this side. I don't care if I have 18 people listening. I do not care. You guys are the luckiest 18 people, 20 people to be on this call right now as I do a complete breakdown about this. But I've been wanting to do something and I wanted to share with you guys. So I want you guys to understand, because I am going to download this and put this on my actual YouTube channel. I want you guys to understand, for those of you who are just waking up, for those of you who've been woke up for a long period of time or what have you, okay? I want you guys to understand that there's different levels of consciousness. Currently, right now, there's an energetic wall, a very thick energetic wall that's currently being placed in different parts of this planet, okay? And as these energetic walls are being set up in different parts of the planet, what it's doing is it's separating the individuals who are operating on a particular frequency that's going to go ahead and shift out into the parallel Earths. Okay? I'm not going to just say Earth. I'm going to say Earths. All right? So there are thick energetic walls that are taking place, and you're going to be in a position where you're going to be seeing people having their experiences, but you won't be participating in any of their experiences. And that's a form of that's an energetic protection wall for you. Okay, and that's also a clear indicator that you are actually shifting out into a different parallel Earth. And there are many different versions of different parallel Earths, or many different versions of different realms, if you will. Okay. So, wow, more people's in here. Getting in here too. Okay, so while this is taking place in this time period, you are going to be going through upgrades. Some of you guys may have felt like you needed to sleep a lot. If you've been sleeping a lot, you've been getting upgrades. Sometime around March, you're going to go through another second ascension process. This second ascension process that you're going to be experiencing is going to shift you completely out into the next realm. Okay? Now, it is going to set off a chain of events that is going to take place with our sun. And I know some of you guys may have even heard that our sun has been acting up. We just missed a very nasty solar flare that had it would have hit us, it would have been all she wrote. Because in this particular plane and dimension we're currently operating on, the magnetosphere is only about 15%. Now, I need you guys to understand something. The Earth, as you know it to be, is a program in of itself. This particular structure that we're currently located on is much more vast than what we actually even realize. Okay? And there's many different realms, or many different planes, if you will, that exist. Now, oddly enough, I had found out from my brother, and he is a dragon, that each individual has their own, what you call, magnetosphere. So all of us have our own magnetosphere that can actually also block out rays from the sun. Did any of you guys know this? So each individual has their own magnetosphere, individual magnetosphere. Hola, hola. You're seeing signs of spring in this weather pattern where you are. Where you at, Soul Bay? Tell me where you are. All right. So when I had that conversation with him, I alchemized a lot of that information that was given to me, and then more information started coming to me that was connecting the dots on different levels, right? So as I'm seeing this play itself out in front of my face, as far as us being on these different parallel Earths and how people are changing and shifting out, I'm sure that you guys know that the Earth has split. I'm sure you guys are aware of this. So I want you to pay attention to your thoughts, and I want you to pay attention to the things that you say out of your mouth, because you must be intentional. You must be intentional. No matter what. You must be present. And you must know your own energy. That is very important. Where's my hearts at, guys? Y'all was giving me some hearts and everything. Y'all started giving me the hearts. Where's my hearts at? All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the 7 levels of consciousness. And I want you guys to hear me. So I'm going to start with level 1. Level 1 makes you or puts you in what we call the sleep state. These are the individuals who are not awake, that are operating in the matrix, that are operating strictly on 3D. Okay? And their consciousness essentially is literally bound by the matrix. Okay? It's not bound by anything else. They don't have any higher way of thinking or anything like that. So we'll say these are the 3Ders. Straight up and down. Some of y'all may even call them NPCs. But these are the 3D folks. Okay? That's the first 7 levels of consciousness. Now the next one, which is level 2, is the common sense state. Driven by desires, holding on to ideals of the human mind, constructs created in the matrix, but know some awareness, some things aren't right here on this physical plane. So some of you guys might be operating in that state, in that level of consciousness. Okay? But you go through 7 different stages and 7 different levels of consciousness. All right? So you get a chance to ask yourself, what level are you operating on? All right? Now, level 3. Early stages of intellect, scholarism, eclectics, cultural groups, liberals, cultural pride. Knows history by books and what's been taught. Rewire programming, mind to ancient history, but has limits to expansion of self. Example, still holding on to acting human and what is taught, holding on to fear and trauma, racism debates, all the isms debates, dominance of who is more knowledgeable than another, dress conscious but won't go further to discipline self towards psychic abilities. Now, some of these could be you. How many people do you know operate like that? If you're operating like that in this particular stage, you are currently at the level 3 stage of your level of consciousness. Okay? Now, we're going to go to level 4. Level 4, the initiate. Master scholar, discoverer of self-interest, open to knowledge of self, shadow work phase, ego death, early peak of discovery, reboot and reprogram the mind, started releasing, DNA coding changing, studying more about self and eliminating ideals that don't serve you. The early stages of enlightenment and overstanding, the ending of karmic loops and chapters, remembering why you came to Earth, missions unlocking, and beginning. So when I say these things, I just want you guys to raise your hand or make a comment and let me know what resonates with you and where you are in your stages of your levels of consciousness. That was a stage 4. Okay? And you got to take a look at how many people are still having arguments about racism, about race. That already lets you know the state that they're in. And some of these people are locked into that state and won't move out any further than where they are. Then you have individuals who refuse to heal. So the individuals who refuse to heal, you can already tell what level of consciousness that they're operating on. Okay? Level 5, self-growth. Initiating DNA ascension symptoms. Changes in eating are permanent due to frequency elevation. Psychic abilities at its peak. Shadow work. Releasing and letting go. Change of reality. All the ones who operate on level 1 and 2 are no longer around you. Drive every day to be your true form internally. Secrets of the universe. Enlightenment intensifying. Major tests to see how serious you are. Okay? That is level 5. All right? I'm not reading a book. That is level 5. What I'm reading is the 7 levels of consciousness, but it's not a book. All right? All right. Level 6. Level 6. Initiate to mastery. Higher or future self meets you. Psychic gifts development. All your knowledge coming from within you. Soul activation. More interest in the stars and different forms of divination. Paying attention to nature more. In tune with source within. Enjoy more nature. Major tests and dark night of the soul. As well as more releasing so higher self can enter into you. Integration. Loving all aspects of self as well as healing self. Radiating your light to others around you. Major manifestation. Peak of brand new being. Are any of you guys operating on this level of consciousness? Now, how many times have you guys heard me say, this is for the folks who already on some, well, how can you prove it? See, these people that always want to have something proven to them in that way, first of all, they're thinking from a linear perspective. That's number one. They're looking straight ahead and think that, oh, if it doesn't come like that in the way that I process it, then it must not be happening. That's not true. Things are always happening on a multidimensional level. Remember, there are multidimensional versions of who you are. You have what we call aspects. So even though you may not, this 3D version may not be able to recognize something, but your other aspects are able to recognize it. So it's going to hit your subconscious mind and it may come back to you around to you later. Okay. You said you feel like you're going between 4 and 6 right now. Level 5 starting at level 6. Yes, you said it too many times. That's right, Playboy Jordan. That is correct. I've often said to you when you guys ask me, where am I getting this information from? And I tell you, I go from within. And I remember when I started coming out with this quote unquote controversial information and I started talking to people about this and they had a hard time with it because it was like, well, if I can't find it in the book, but they didn't understand that I'm not operating on the same level of consciousness that they're operating on. They're operating at a conscious level of 4. I'm not operating on that, or 3. I'm not operating on that conscious level. I'm operating on a whole different level. That's why it's very hard for certain people to receive the messages that I'm trying to convey, which is okay I'm okay with that. They're just not okay with it because they don't understand, but they're not going to get to that until they get to that point of taking themselves seriously and doing the work. They're never going to be able to see the same perspective that I see because they haven't done the necessary work and they're not looking at things from a healed set of eyes or a balanced set of eyes. They're looking at things still from operating from their trauma that they haven't healed from. So when you have those things in front of you, then that's the eye that you're going to be operating from. Okay? It doesn't mean that the person is wrong. It just means that we're not operating on the same space. All right. Now we're going to go to number 7. 7, mastery, completion, already merging to new world. You came here to get it and refuse to go back or return back to earth knowing what you know. Share your knowledge, spiritual gifts, and craft to inspire others. They can do it too. How many times have you guys heard me say that? I'm going to need you guys to get out here and start doing this stuff on your own. I'm going to need y'all to do that. How many times have you heard me say I need to take a break because I have still enough information for those of you for you to get out here and do it on your own? So those are what you call your 7, that's what you call your 7 levels of consciousness. So guess what level of consciousness I'm operating on? I really want you guys to understand the changes that are going on right now. The skies, there's a lot of radiation, a lot of new energy coming down on this planet. And so your body has to upgrade its firmware and it has to upgrade its hardware, its software. One, so your bodies can take on the energies that are coming onto the planet. If you have a whole lot of dense energy within your body doesn't have the ability to sustain these new energies and these new frequencies coming in. So then what happens? Because you didn't heal, you didn't leave enough room for those frequencies to come into one body because your energy is still dense. So you're not able to hold the frequency. So what happens? You go backwards. You start feeling yourself digress. And that is a clear sign. When you start to see yourself digress, that's a clear sign to you. 1, for you to be present with yourself. 2, for you to recognize, okay, there's still some areas of work that I still have to do that I haven't conquered yet. Okay? That's right, 13 Artistry. Now, that we got that out the way, and I want you guys to come back and play this video. I'm going to upload it to YouTube as well. I want to talk to you guys about something else. I was having some very interesting conversations with some people today. Very, very interesting conversations. And I had an opportunity to go to my actual origins. And let me tell you guys something. That was a powerful experience to be taken to my origins long before anything was ever created. And that shattered a lot of the limiting beliefs that I may have still been carrying around. It shattered a lot of even contracts that I may have been operating under. It shattered so many different things for me. And I feel extremely sovereign. Like, none of these rules are applying to who I am right now at this moment. And they're not. That's the thing, they're not. When you come to a certain level of understanding, you begin to start realizing that there was a lot of programming that was put in place to keep you from entering into the state of true God consciousness. True God consciousness understands that they are not limited to anything or anyone. True God consciousness also, you have an understanding that you're not limited to anything that man has created. You're not limited to that. See, the problem is that your belief system told you that. So as you begin to start believing the things that you were told, you begin to start creating simulations. You begin to start co-creating with Source to create these simulations of these particular experiences. And the number one thing that I want you guys to remember, if you don't remember anything else, where you are in your life right now, you do have the ability to change it at will. How do you change it? It's something as simple as you remembering that you have a choice. That's it. So when you see people in their darkness, they chose to do that. It wasn't nothing outside of them that made them do that. It was their choice. Whether subconscious or whether conscious, it was their choice. And I remember when that first came to me, I had a hard time with that for a minute. But then as I started seeing things play out in my own life, and seeing things play out with people that I know around me, I literally observed, studied, and watched them make certain choices that led up to where they are today. I literally saw them co-creating with Source and a whole simulation, creating all kinds of hellfire for themselves. And I want to say something. I want to say something to y'all. It's so much easier than what you think that it is. It's not that complicated. It's not complicated at all. It's actually very simple. But your programming that you have, those belief systems that you've adopted, that's not your own, is a reality that's been created for you. Is a reality that's an artificial reality that was created for you by something outside of you that you bought into. From how you eat, to how you dress, the way you see yourself, the way you see others, every single thing that you think or every single belief system that you have, you are going to manifest that reality. But you do have the choice to change that belief system and create yourself a new reality simply by remembering that you have a choice to be able to do so. So you can't get mad at the other individuals who may have figured this out. And now they're operating in that space and you're trying to figure out, well, how come this person is doing this, but I'm still stuck over here in this? Because you chose to entertain negativity, because you chose to think that you couldn't be nothing more than what you are, because you chose to think that you need to struggle to get to where you needed to go. How many of y'all right now on this live right now believe that you need to struggle in order for you to have an easy, comfortable life? Keep it real. How many of y'all think that? How many of y'all think that you have to go through hell, high water, and fire and all types of shit? You have to go through this in order for you to get to the other side and experience your bliss. How many of you think that way? You guys say no, but I want you guys to think about something. When I bring these things up, I've had personal conversations with people about this. And literally, they don't even know what they're saying out of their mouth. You say that, but yet you may have an issue with money. You say that, but yet you might say that money is the root of all evil. You say that because you may not have things going on in your life in the way that you think it should be going on, or your life might not be balanced the way it's supposed to be balanced. So therefore, you have an issue with that. You have an issue with abundance. And you cannot attract what you don't like. I'm going to say it again. You cannot attract to you what you do not like. There are people out there that have a martyrism victim mentality. So because they think, which is something they chose to create for themselves, and they chose to co-create with Source with this line of thinking, they think that as long as they're in a state of quote unquote poverty or not having, or as long as they think that money is the root of all evil, which is not, it's an actual spirit. And that's a whole nother discussion that you've been co-creating since you learned how to spend money from day one. You've been co-creating with the spirit for the longest, but you've dealt with, or you have accepted a particular type of programming that puts you in a box. Whether it's a financial box, whether it's how people perceive you, whether it's the racism box, what have you. And you got to remember, whatever you're believing, that's going to be the experience that you're going to create for yourself. So your experiences is very real for you. But whatever experiences that are very, very real for you are not going to be real for everybody else, depending on how they're thinking and depending on how they choose to think. It's all about change of perspective. Yes, you have to change your perspective on what we say and what we do. That is correct. So I want you guys to think about this for a minute. How do you speak about yourself? How do you see yourself? Do you understand what it really means to love yourself? Have you done enough healing to really come into that true understanding of what it means to truly heal oneself? At Aphrodite Dawn, you said it correct. You have to lead with intent. And perspective is everything. You're welcome, Divine Feminine. If you speak highly of yourself, then those highly blessings will come into you if you speak highly of yourself. But and not only that, but you also have to learn how to go into what we call the flow state and not holding on to any outcomes of anything. Once you get into the flow state, then that's when the magic begins to start happening. And when you let go of any outcomes, meaning control, then that's when you really begin to start seeing the magic happen. Because life is supposed to surprise you. If you're saying to source that you want to have an experience, or you want to experience your timeline with the greatest and highest good that this timeline has to offer, if you tell source that's what you want to experience, then that's what that source is going to shift you into that reality, and you're going to shift yourself in that reality, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So you might find people that are happy-go-lucky all the time, and then you're looking at them salty, trying to figure out why they're so happy because they shifted their perspective. And so in their world, it's very real to them that things are happening in their life in a positive level. Therefore, because they're vibrating on that certain frequency, they're receiving all types of blessings because that's what they created for themselves. What I'm saying to you guys is that I need you to remember, please remember that you do have a choice. Don't take your choice away, and don't forget that you have one. Because it really is just that simple to say, I am not going to entertain that shit right there. I am going to create my own reality, and therefore I'm not going to even entertain that reality. I'm going to say, hey, source, I heard about that, but listen, I'm not trying to have that. I'm not trying to have none of those experiences. You can go ahead and put that energetic ball around me right now because I ain't trying to have those experiences. I'm over here. And to prove to myself that I'm over here, I'm doing everything that I need to do to improve myself. Because the one worst thing that you could ever do to yourself is drop the ball on yourself. So you're going to drop the ball on everybody else. If you can't be loyal and you can't drop the ball on yourself, you're going to drop the ball on everybody else, and you ain't going to be loyal to nobody else. So the worst thing that you could ever do to yourself is not be true to yourself. And the easiest way for you guys to really learn about the flow state is start spending a lot of time in the water. The water will teach you how to be in the flow state. The water. When I go to the ocean, I get in the water, the first thing I'm doing is that I'm floating in the water. But the ocean water, because the salt water is a natural spiritual bath that I take in nature. Or if I decide I'm going to go to the river, that's a natural spiritual bath that I take out in nature. Right? So when I'm in that water, if I'm in the ocean, I'm being cleansed off, but I'm floating and I'm allowing the waves just to take me where it wants to go without any expectation. And I'm trusting the waters to take me where I need to go. I don't think, am I going to have a bad experience? I don't think I'm going to drown. I don't have any of those thoughts that come to me. I trust Mother Yamaya, and I talk to her. And she responds to me accordingly every single time. And when she don't want my ass in that water no more, she kicks my ass out. Literally, a wave will come up, she'll scoop my ass and push my ass right out the water. I'm like, well, damn. You had to do it like that? But literally, that's what happens. Because I trust myself. Who is self? Who are you? Do you understand how powerful you are? Do you understand that you are a part of the collective consciousness. If you are a part of the collective consciousness and you are a part of source, that makes you source, and you are part of the collective consciousness, I need you to understand that the only reason why you're seeing the death and destruction and the negativity on this planet, the reason why you're seeing it is because of your belief system. You are literally creating this reality. The collective is literally creating this reality of destruction. Now, oddly enough, here's what's happening with me. I can't speak with y'all. Here's what's happening with me. It's so deep that I don't even know what words are going on anymore. I ain't even there. I don't see it. I don't even hear it. It don't come up in my algorithm. It don't come up in my social media. It don't come up nowhere. When I tell you I completely phased out of that whole thing, I phased completely out. I'm in a whole different parallel earth. Literally. I don't see it. I don't hear it. None of that. And I would even go as far as to say to you that I can go to places where, let's say, those who are subscribing to a particular reality would say, I can never go, but when I'm going, I'm having a whole different experience. I'm having a whole different experience. I'm not seeing any of the stuff that people were talking about. I'm literally in a parallel earth, not even having none of this stuff go on. When people say to me, why aren't you afraid of this? I said, I don't know what you want me to say because it's not in my reality. So no, actually, I'm not experiencing any of this stuff. No, I'm not experiencing it. Truly not having the experience. It gets so deep, y'all, that when you get your frequency to a certain level, you're not even seen by the people no more. They can't see you. The people that are operating on a different frequency, they cannot see you. You can see them, but they can't see you. Have you guys been noticing any of these changes? Because I know I've definitely been noticing these changes. That is correct. You're shifting your reality by what you focus on. So cool. That is correct. Invisible in plain sight. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. It's so crazy the way I scare the shit out of people. It's crazy. They'll be like, where the hell you come from, fam? I was sitting right there the whole time. It is amazing. Don't you guys feel like you're in some amazing times right now? Like, let me tell you what's like in my world. I'm seeing rainbows, lots of rainbows. I'm seeing the sun. I'm seeing the skies turn colors, my favorite colors. Like, this is one of my favorite colors. Just so you guys don't, if you don't know, this is one of my favorite colors. Okay, my feet is this color. My nails are this color. It's my favorite color. I got purses that are this color. Okay, that's my shit. That's what my site looks like. My site has these colors. On IsisWisdom.com, you are going to see these colors. Okay? And it's who I am. My favorite color. Did you guys see when I put the picture up the sun with the beautiful rainbow that was so swirling around it? It was so beautiful. You should always keep your head covered when you're out. I always keep my head covered when I'm out. When I'm home, that's one thing. But even when I'm home now, and I got my head covered. But when I'm out and about, I always make sure I keep my crown covered. Yes, your site is dope. Thank you, baby. And actually, I'm getting ready to put some light language up on there next. So when people first log on to the site, they're going to hear the light language hit them. So they're going to be getting themselves cleaned off, and they're going to get themselves activated when they first come on the site. So they're going to be hearing that throughout the site. That photo was outer worldly. Yes, it was. It was absolutely stunning. That was a surprise. Oh, that picture I put up? Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. I really like this filter. It's like giving like rainbow vibes. And I am a rainbow goddess, by the way, guys. Just so you know, I'm a rainbow goddess. So rainbow is my colors. Oh, the light language. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, look, we on IJ Nikke's page now, honey. Humans are only coming back into their true selves. We've been in the fall so long, humans don't know their true potential. This is true. But that too is also a choice. You know, the best thing that we can do is show people compassion. Something I had to learn how to do in my levels of healing is show people compassion. Meet them where they are, especially if they want to learn. You know, they just may not understand. I'm dealing with a situation right now where at first I closed myself off from the individual because I didn't know what they were on, because their movements at first for me was very hasty. So I was like, no, I'm wall. Catch this rainbow brick wall, fam. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know where you're coming from. But then it wasn't until I got a visitation from his higher self and some things were explained to me. Then I was able to put the wall down and I was like, okay, I'm going to give this person an opportunity and a chance for me to assist them and heal them, right? Because that's what they're coming to me for. And my compassion kicked in. You know, because here's what we do as human beings. We write people off right from the gate. And when you do that, when you just write people off, you miss out on so many opportunities to grow. You miss out on so many opportunities to experience joy and happiness because you don't know what those opportunities are going to bring. And if you're operating with the mindset that you're experiencing your highest and greatest good timeline, then you got to know that there isn't going to be anything that's going to come to you in your flow state. Source isn't going to bring anything to you that is going to interrupt where you're trying to go. The only thing that interrupts where you're trying to go is your perception of how you see things. In other words, you and only you and nothing outside of you will ever change the trajectory of where you want to go. Only you can do that. Nobody else can do that for you. I want you guys to remember this. Only you can do that. There's nothing outside of you that has power over you. The boogeyman, the devil, the darkness, whatever you guys are afraid of or whatever you haven't healed from, I just need you guys to know that when you do come into a true healing state, because you're going to be healing for the rest of your life, but when you come into that true healing state, all that stuff begins to subside, all that fear, because you start getting into the nitty-gritty of where these things come from. And once you start digging those roots out and getting rid of them cords that instilled all that fear in you, and you start healing and closing those experiences up and giving them back to source. Once you start doing these things you start to become lighter. And as you become lighter, you experience what we call expansion. And as you're experiencing expansion, this is when more information comes to you. Pen and notebook sitting right here. So Bay got me over here cracking up. Self-love conscious says, my own twin sister does not want to speak to me anymore because you speak truth. Just remember, self-love consciousness, that truth is also relative. Remember that. There's your truth and then there's her truth. And your job isn't to beat your truth down her throat. She's experiencing a total different truth from you. And she's having her own experiences that are very real to her. So you can't override her truth. That's moving against her free will. Therefore, you're going to get the result that you're getting because you missed the whole point to why you're developing the consciousness. And I want you guys to understand something. Just because you come into an inner knowing about something, or you come into an inner truth about something, does not mean that you have the right to criticize, make fun of, force your opinions, your ideas, your truths, your perspectives on anyone. Why? Because human beings were given free will. That's number one. Number two, you create karma for yourself when you go against free will. And that karma is going to play out in several different ways. Hence, now you're not talking to your sister anymore. The way it should have went was, I respect where you're coming from, and I still love you just the same. But just understand I'm operating on a different frequency than you, but I still love you. You still find a way to still love your family when you meet them where they are. Because if you understand where they are and you understand where they are, you just deal with them where they are. That's it. That's all you have to do. Allow them to be them as they allow you to be you. You can always say, I still love you. Because the biggest thing here, out of all these differences that we have, is divine love. Unconditional love. If you have unconditional love towards your family, then none of the mundane shit should even matter. And it really is just that simple. When I came into that understanding, it's very easy now for me to be around my family. I love them just the same, and we have a lot of fun together. They know I operate on a different level, but I don't beat them up for it. I don't beat them up because I see things they don't see. I just see things they don't see. And I respect their choices. So imagine what you could do if you were operating from the frequency of unconditional love, where you're meeting those people in that space where they may not see what you see. Part of the reason why people don't see what you see is because they don't have the experience for them to see what you see. Remember, there are different levels of consciousness, but you don't get to these other levels of consciousness until you go through certain types of experiences to open and expand your mind to get to those different levels of consciousness. You don't just wake up out the blue on some, okay, I'm fully 100% woke and I'm at my 7th level out the gate. Y'all know how this goes. So don't forget that. You too had to go through stages of different levels of consciousness. And some of you are still going through your stages of different levels of consciousness. The most powerful frequency out there is unconditional love. That is correct. If more people begin to stop operating from their heart space, truly operating from their heart space, you literally could shift this entire planet. Now, it has come to me that the collective has made a choice, a conscious decision, an intentional conscious decision to heal. So now, since they're doing that, as we entered into the age of Aquarius, there are going to be some massive shifts taking place because they're tired of the same old, same old. So that means what? That means that the structures of the old world have no choice but to fall. And it's going to fall because as the consciousness become higher in their frequencies and as they begin to expand more, the things that they thought was important, they no longer have their attention on it. If they no longer have their energetic attention on it, those structures begin to start crumbling and falling right in front of their face. That's like the concept, if you believe that the paper money or the fiat dollar has a lot of money, has a lot of value, intrinsic value to it, then your belief system and the collective conscious belief system is going to continue to keep this thing circulating. But what's happening now? The dollar's falling. Why is the dollar falling? They're telling you it's because of inflation, right? This is what they're telling you. But let me break it down to you a little bit even deeper than that. It's falling because nobody no longer believes in the system that's been created, that's been controlling them all along with this particular type of energy. So what happens is when you have a collective consciousness that's no longer believing in that structure, energetic wise, it begins to fall apart. Remember, everything is energy, including this right here. Something solid like this. This is energy. Did y'all know that this is pure energy? It looks like it's solid and it feels solid, yes. But if you was to break it down and understand that that's just energy that has formed and condensed itself. Okay, there were little molecules that came together and formed and condensed itself. Therefore, giving you the illusion that it's something solid. But I want you guys to remember everything is energy. So if you understand that everything is energy, then you begin to start understanding you as a multidimensional being. And when you begin to start in a interdimensional being, meaning that you have the ability to go into different dimensions of consciousness, different dimensions of learning. The only thing that holds these structures up, I'm going to say it again, is the people's belief systems of them. And there's going to be a lot of people out here that's not ready to let that damn system go. Those people that aren't ready to let that system go, they can't go where we're going. They're going to stay right where they are because they love that system. That's all they know. Or that's all they choose to know. Or they're not choosing to see anything else or believe in anything else. Therefore, for them, that old structure that's falling away, because they're attached to it, they're going to fall along away with it. That's how this works. But if you are a part of the collective consciousness that wants to see things change, you're going to see things change. You're going to change. Now, your energy is affecting the whole collective, is affecting the whole planet, is affecting the entire cosmos. Some of you guys are living galaxies and don't even know it because you're too caught up in this flesh. Some of you guys are actual galaxies. Some of you guys are actually planets. When you go inward, you can see the cosmos inside of your heart space. All you got to do is go to your heart space. When I say to you, you got to go within, that means that you got to go into meditation, go into theta state, and put yourself back into your heart space so you can begin to start seeing the things I'm talking about. The cosmos live within you. They got you thinking something different, but the cosmos actually live within you. There's nothing external of you but your thought process. Now imagine if you shifted the way you're thinking. As soon as you shift it, everything shifts. Your whole reality shifts. And you're like, holy cow. You done jumped a couple timelines like, wait, where am I right now? Because I just jumped about 5 or 6 timelines. Where the hell am I? And next thing you know, when you go and you look outside, the buildings ain't set up the same way. Have any of y'all ever had that experience? Where the buildings ain't set up the same way? The parking lots look different. The trees are moved around to a whole different space. And you're like, wait a minute, where the hell am I? The hell? That's how you know you shifted into a parallel earth. Get out of the loop and shift. Boom. So this is how I'm doing it. So when you find yourself getting caught up in belief systems and you see that those belief systems are limiting you in any way, anything that comes in that looks like it's going to limit you, you have to stop. You have to examine your own belief system and say, okay, where did I get this from? Where did this come from? Oh, my mama told me this, or my grandmother told me that, or the pastor of my church told me this, or my teacher told me this, that, and the third. Your entire life, you have lived in a system, number one, that's not natural to the environment. That's number one. Okay? It's not like you were left up to your own devices. When you were born into a corporate matrix system, a structure that is designed to harness your energy and keep you coming back here and reincarnating to keep this thing and sustain itself. And there are beings that cannot survive without your energy. So they look to harness your energy. How? By projecting fear. See, if you guys had sight, some of you guys have sight where you can see where there's energy, there's beings that pop up to literally consume off of your energy. When you're in fear, there are beings consuming off of your energy consistently. But remember, you had a choice not to entertain that outside structure. The question you have to ask yourself is why did you decide to entertain that outside structure? Why did you decide to do that? Because that's what you were told to do. Do you see how deep the programming is? When you're told to do something, you do it, right? So you've been operating in a voluntary slave system. The corporation cannot do anything against you unless A, you agree to it or you sign for them to move against you. The matrix cannot move against you. If you understand who you are and what you are sovereign to that. But if you decide that you're going to subscribe to what it's putting out there as rules and laws, that means you do not know who you are. You do not know who you are. When I hear people, I have watched certain people speak their whole life and experiences that they are having into existence. And the experiences that they're having, they don't realize because they're so powerful. They're telling people that they're a God, but yet it's counterproductive because if you're telling people that you're a God and you're speaking negative things against you, then you begin to start embodying these negative things and you're speaking negative against yourself. And then next thing you know, you start manifesting these experiences. Then I have to question what's really going on there. I have to question it. I literally watch people create a whole narrative about what they think is going on with themselves. But they're a God, right? So they're speaking their existence and their story play out to the world, and then is upset when their play is playing out to the world. I'm like, but you're the one casting these spells. You're the one speaking this stuff into existence. You're the one that's literally telling people what's going to happen to you before it happens, and then it happens, and then you're wondering why it's happening. And then the crazy part about it is everybody's listening to you don't even understand what the hell's going on. They try to make somebody else responsible for the shit that they're creating for themselves. And you got folks that are literally listening to this shit and believing into this narrative that they created for themselves. And it's the craziest shit I've ever seen. I want you to think about that for a minute. How many people do you know that are out here that say, I'm a God, I'm a this, I'm a that, this, that, and the third? Okay, cool. But they're not speaking life into themselves, and they're not speaking life over to the people that they're even talking to. They're definitely not speaking life into themselves. So they're speaking about how bad their life is, and the man hates them, and they're plotting against me, and all this stuff. I'm telling y'all. And the next thing you know, you literally see this shit play out with these folks right in front of their face. Now, mind you, now they told you they was a God. So they're literally using their God powers to speak against themselves and then wondering why they're having these experiences. And I'm like, this is insanity to me. It's about the change in the perspective. Somebody's got to take the blame because nobody wants to hold themselves accountable that the real reason why that they're going through the shit that they're going through is because they created all of it. Because as a God, you create. Your higher self is constantly creating. You are constantly creating with source for you to experience the simulation of what you're speaking. You're doing this. Nobody out here is doing this. So then when you have individuals who are not falling into the simulation that are creating a whole different reality and a whole different simulation for themselves, you cannot be mad at these individuals when they're not getting caught up in the same shit you're getting caught up in when all you're doing is speaking negative over your own life. If you believe that these things are, if you believe that this is what your reality is, and that is going to be the reality that you're going to experience. But at any given time, you do have the choice to change that. I need you to remember you have a choice to change it. Just change it. You can easily say, I did the exercise with y'all. You can easily just tell Source, I'm done co-creating this simulation with you of all this shit right here because I didn't realize that I was speaking this stuff over me like that. So I'm choosing Source to shut down the simulations. We can go ahead and shut down the simulation right now, but I ain't with it. Next thing you know, you feel all the chills and all these energy changing and whatnot, and then you realize that you really did create this damn simulation for yourself. And see, Sources ain't going to say nothing to you. Source is going to cooperate with you because that's what you want to do. Sources only wants the experience. Be clear. Whether it's a positive experience or a negative experience, for a Source, it's just about the experience. So if you're choosing to have the best experience for yourself, then Source will oblige. If you're choosing to have a negative experience for yourself, Source will oblige. Because you are Source. Are you getting it now? It's deep. And people get upset with me when I point things out, but I'm going to keep on telling y'all until you decide that you're going to change it. Or what if I did something? First of all, you didn't let go of nothing. Don't come to me with your attitude, because the mere fact that you're still in the attitude means you're still holding on to the shit that you ain't let go. Therefore, you're going to continue to keep creating that till you consciously decide that you're going to let it go. And you are going to have to let it go. You're going to tell Source, I'm done with the simulation. I'm done with the simulation of living in poverty. I'm done with the simulation of living in sickness. I'm done with the simulation of living that like people are out to get me. I'm done with living in the simulation where I don't feel safe. I'm done living in this simulation. Whatever it is, you tell Source you're done to shut the simulation down. Now you have a clean white canvas in front of you. Begin to start being the author of your life and start writing out your new script. And not only that, begin to start living, walking, talking, breathing the script. And you will begin to see how your life is going to shift out in a very short period of time at that. It is not going to take years. It's going to take the moment you decide that you're going to shift your consciousness out. That's it, y'all. I gave you the game. I gave you the secret. I literally gave y'all the game. Not the wig burnt. Y'all so done with that. You and these wig comments. Y'all crack me the hell up. That is funny as hell. Tyler, you know, you and I have had our conversations many a times. So I know this is resonating. I know this has got to be hitting home for you. It's got to be. I know for a fact this is hitting home for you. Wiz getting picked up off the ground right now. You over there clapping? Gratitude for all of y'all for coming on board to listen to what I have to say, because I had to get this message out today. I really need to get this message out today because there's been a lot of things that's been hitting me, and there's a lot of things I'm seeing play out. And I'm just like, I'm at a level right now where I just refuse to allow anything come into my space or into my cipher that's going to take me out of where I'm supposed to be at. I just refuse to entertain it. I don't entertain it. I will seal your ass off in a heartbeat and keep on doing my own thing. I will literally put up an glass energetic wall between myself and you'll be wondering how come you can't get anywhere near me and why I'm not entertaining and why you can't, because I don't have time for that. You're not vibrating on a frequency. The way my stuff is set up now, if you're not operating on the same frequencies as me, you can't even get anywhere near me at this point. You can't. It's just not going to happen. One, you won't even physically see, you won't physically even see me. Let's just start there. You won't even physically see me. New NJ Chris said, why did I decide to use this account for my live? Because one, this account is free from the algorithm, number one, and it's free from my lives being disturbed. When I do live during the day on my other account, because it has an algorithm on it, they don't even let my numbers go up anymore. They stop my numbers from going up over there and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not able to reach my audience the way that I want to over there. So I'll go over there and do some stuff over there. But today it was just something I wanted to do over here because I was singing at the very beginning of this live. I've seen you in the dream state talking light language. Aphrodite Dawn, that is correct. So we move in silence now. That is correct. We move in silence now. You're welcome, NJ Crisp. I know, listen, you guys, all you guys that are following me, you're going to see the live when it goes up and things like that. And hopefully you guys will, pass it on to people and let people check it out. I am going to upload it to my YouTube channel. Girl, I can't wait for my music to drop. Now, I want to say a couple more things before I get off this live. For those of you that haven't logged on to my website, please log on to isiswisdom.com, your one-stop shop. I just got an online dispensary. So you already know what's getting ready to happen, right? For those of you who like your herbals, for who like your herbals and things like that, yeah. Yeah. I just got that joint. So I'm going to be launching that. I'm going to be launching that soon. You're going to see a QR code on my website where all you got to do is scan it. It's going to take you right to my damn dispensary. And y'all can get all the good green and all the good things you like, all the good tasty snacks and things like that, and mushrooms and all types of stuff that you like. Y'all can get it right over there. Oh, you already know. And you know it's going to be cosmic as hell, right? Y'all do know it's going to be. Listen. This is going to be some stuff right here. Okay, I'm telling y'all right now. With us, the way we do things, y'all are going to be like, wow. Make sure you guys log on to isiswisdom.com for your quantum healing needs. We also offer spiritual consultations and different services to help you heal, and also quantum courses and quantum programs. Now, fellas, for those of you that are currently on this thing with me right now, for any man that's listening, I teamed up with 3 men, 3 divine masculines, to create a program called the True Kings Men's Course. And I'm amazed at how so many men have not taken advantage of this the way they should have. But these same individuals will come to me and say to me, Isis, you're doing everything for everybody else, but you're not doing anything for us. Let me explain something to y'all. This is the reason why we don't do enough, not enough stuff is being provided for y'all, because you don't take advantage of what's being presented to you. Some of y'all are afraid to allow your emotions to be expressed. Some of you are afraid to allow yourselves to be healed because you follow a false program of what it means to be a masculine. I have a men's course that is being taught by 3 men on isiswisdom.com called True Kings. You guys see me promoting it left and right. There's a few men that signed up, but there should be way more that signed up than what has. Okay? So you're having an opportunity to do something with it, take advantage of it, and see what it does. So you can really know what it's like to go into your divinity as a masculine. and not these distorted versions that you see out here. That's why we call them divine masculines. Now, my mediumship course. That course starts February the 10th. That's a Saturday. That's the class that's 4444 when I said that I'm going to be giving back. But I'll never do that mediumship course ever again for no damn 4444. You can best believe that's not happening again. So if you want to be a part of this course that I'm teaching, log on to isiswisdom.com and sign up. I have Activate Your God Powers. A lot of people sign up for that course. That course is February the 6th. So you have a few more days to go ahead and sign up for Activate Your God Powers. Okay? That course is going to be something serious. I'm telling y'all right now. Now, you have self-defense. That's another serious course. Because I'm going to show you how to activate and how to protect yourself on a quantum level. It's going to blow your wigs all the way back. You're going to find out things about yourself that you didn't even know even existed about yourself. Another course that I'm doing at the end of February is the implant workshop with Esoteric Truth, where we're going to be training you on how to remove implants out of the body. So you will learn how this skill set, and you'll learn how to do this forever for yourself. Now, they're coming out with technology, and it's changing and upgrading all the time. So it'll be your responsibility to keep up to date with some of the stuff that they're coming out with in terms of technology. And we'll do our best to keep people up to date about that. For those who take the course, we'll try our best to make sure we keep people up to date about that, so they know, so they can get other trainings for more advanced things that may come down the pipeline. But I'm just making you aware, this is a start where we're actually teaching you guys, like, these courses are specifically designed to empower you, so you know how to do these things for yourself. So when you get a chance, make sure you log on to my website, isiswisdom.com. Come check me out. See what we got going on over there. I'm not telling you nothing, Kashif. You're not getting nothing from me, sweetheart, until I get ready to do the 2024 predictions in February, honey. You ain't getting a peep out of me. You better go look at that video I did on Instagram called 2024 Highlights. You'll get some highlights of what I saw. You'll get some highlights, but you ain't going to get the predictions. And further, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there's been so many major shifts that's taken place that the people, even some of the original predictions that people were talking about, that shifted already. That shifted out. So there's going to be other things coming into play. And I kind of want to wait to reveal this information, because things change as the timelines are changing and people are shifting out. So I kind of want to wait, because there is another big major ascension process that's going to start in March. Right now, a lot of you guys are getting your upgrades and stuff like that right now, but there's going to be another part to this that's going to start around the time of March. And that's also going to cause a huge shift. Okay? So just stay tuned to when I do the 2024 predictions. But again, in my mind, the new year doesn't start until the spring equinox. Now, y'all can debate that. Y'all can do all that. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. New year comes when life comes back in. Okay, so we're talking about the spring equinox. March 20th, not April 1, March 20th. All right, guys. I thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to what I have to say. I really appreciate you. And I'm definitely going to come back and do some more stuff. I hope you like that light language activation I did at the very beginning. Gratitude for all of y'all who came on board to listen to what I have to say. Gratitude to the message. Gratitude to all of you. I appreciate you. Peace and blessings.